Can you feel it, that electric, nerve-wracking, anxious energy? I know I do. I felt different versions of it just weeks ago. Before the USC game, I was extremely unsure, but excited and driven by a white-hot, burning hatred of the Trojans. Before the North Carolina State game, I was a little more collected and confident, but still nervous, knowing the Wolfpack were a good team and that I shouldn't be taking them lightly. Now, all those emotions are flooding back stronger than ever. The 8-1 Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team is ranked number 3 in the country, less than a year removed from losing 8 of 12 games in 2016, and now will travel down to southern Florida in November to take on a 7th-ranked Miami Hurricanes team and fanbase that are undefeated, exceedingly cocky, and chock full of fantastic athletes. Okay, 2 of those 3 things I said really just describe the team, not their fans, but you get my overall point. There are certainly reasons to be at least a little nervous, even if you just feel nervous about not feeling nervous about the game. The last few meetings between these 2 programs have gone the Fighting Irish's way, with North Dakota dominating the Hurricanes in the 2010 Sun Bowl and 2012 regular season, and then even scraping by with one of their 4 victories last year against a hapless Miami squad. One of my good friends, John Mack, even pointed out to me that the last time Miami beat Notre Dame, Yugoslavia was still a country and David Robinson was Rookie of the Year in the NBA. Makes you think. This Miami team is different from those Miami teams, though. The coaching is better under second-year coach Mark Richt, the talent is starting to develop and come together, and they've got a turnover chain, which can only be considered an advantage, right? To put it simply, the Hurricanes have a lot of young, hungry talent, and they have really begun to believe they can beat a Fighting Irish team who hasn't played a game where they weren't up by at least 20 points at some point since early September. That's confidence right there, folks. So, with all the talk on both sides about how the other side doesn't stand a chance, how do the 2 squads actually match up? Let's take a look and see if we can't figure out who's gonna win this thing and take a huge step closer to making the college football playoff. Miami offense versus Notre Dame defense. The strength of this Miami team is certainly the defense, but the offense in Coral Gables has plenty of talent readily available to make plays. The most critical member of the Miami offense is QB Malik Rosier, a first-year starter who has all the tools and who has shown flashes of brilliance, but who has also been very inconsistent. Rosier has thrown for 2,273 yards on the year so far, completing 56.2% of his throws, while accumulating 19 TDs and 7 int. If he's able to get into a groove early, it could be a long game for the Fighting Irish defense, as Rosier's performances are usually streaky and feed off of momentum and confidence gaining early on, like most young quarterbacks. Thus, it will be absolutely crucial for the Notre Dame front 7 to put pressure on Rosier. As a young QB, he's shown the ability to get rattled and fall into a funk if things aren't going smoothly, and so guys like Dalen Hayes, 25 tackles, 6.5 TFL, 3 sacks, 3 QBH, Julian Aquara, 1.5 sacks, 1 int, 7 QBH, 1 French Frank, and Khalid Kareem, 14 tackles, 5.5 TFL, 3 sacks, 5 QBH, need to have huge days getting into the backfield to wreak havoc and forced mistakes by Miami's QB. DT Jerry Tillery, 37 tackles, 5.5 TFL, 3 sacks, 8 QBH, 1 French Frank, and ELJ Hayes, 21 tackles, 2.5 TFL, 1 sack, 4 QBH, will need to get a good push up the middle as well, and it should be interesting to see how much heat Mike Elko brings from guys at the second level of the defense, like Tevin Coney and Drew Tranquil. If Rosier is able to sit in the pocket and get through his progressions, he certainly has plenty of exceptional athletes to throw the ball to on Saturday night. The Miami receiving corps is led by senior W.R. Braxton Berrios, who is a tough, quick playmaker who runs exceptional routes and is as reliable as they come. He's got 36 catches for 474 yards and 7 TDs this season, so Rozier will certainly look to him as a security blanket if things go haywire. Plus, he likes to do the hold me back move, so you know he's a super tough guy ready to run over people.